this?
I think I have more control with it.
I like
Well, number one.
I liked it last
Number
time.
two, it comes on instantly. The heat gun goes on, and it's kind of cool, and it gets hotter as you go along, so you don't have a constant temperature.
Exactly.
In workshops, more practical, you never have enough electricity to run all heat guns for everybody. At least I don't. Okay, let's open this up. We're not going to use it with the fat boy. We're going to use it with this other guy here. The guy at Home Depot says to me, it's faster, but I mean, he's saying faster, but it's actually hotter. It's a different kind of, it's a little different kind of fuel. Other than that, it works exactly like this, except it has a clicker, so you don't have to use a match.
But you can use it with the propane.
Carrier in different colors.
And they are in the tools
He
together.
had one for his
Yeah. Not be a carrier.
I know who's
for
going
your
to get
water
that
But
one.
you know what?
I've been
Oh,
looking
there's
for one of
Clam,
those.
there's Clam.
Yeah, you put it on your belt. There we go.
Yeah.
Mikey's got it.
Mikey, you
Steady.
are.
So this just takes a minute to kind of get the hang of. Once you get the hang of this, it's nice. Okay.
So that's
So
just.
you have to turn it on. Everybody's stepping back.
Right in front of us.
Turn it on, and then you click it.
Yeah.
Recall, those of you who've done it before, when you're putting your wax down, especially in these initial coats, you want to go kind of slowly, and I'm using the wrong side because I can see the saw marks, but it won't matter. Okay, so I'm going sort of very slowly. If you've ever laid down a watercolor wash, it's kind of like laying down a watercolor wash. In other words, all I'm doing is essentially, I'm gessoing it with wax.
You don't have
I'm
to
getting,
heat your surface first. You don't have to heat your surface first.
I'm sorry?
You don't heat your surface
No.
first.
I'm getting it ready so that when just ready to put color onto. And I have this little guy underneath it, so it's not going to stick to the paper.
And you don't have to infuse between these layers.
No, because I'm putting it on hot. I'm not waiting. It's pretty hot. I'm going to fuse when I get done, but
Okay, that's layer number 3.
yes, it is. But when you're putting hot on hot, I don't worry about the fusing. Now I'm going to do it just to kind of, just to smooth it out. You have some too. Very, very lightly, because it's warm. And if I go too hard, it will take it away.
So why are you doing this?
I'm just taking off a little bit of excess wax, a little bit of lumpiness. Okay.
Unless you want one.
Unless you want lumpy. So it's pretty hot. I'm going to actually turn it down still a little more.
You're at an angle.
And I can go, look the angle. This is important. You don't want to be like this. It's kind of like having horizontal to your panel. And I'm going pretty rapidly because it's pretty hot.
That's damn hot.
And this particular wax, which is Swan's White, is very white. I like it, actually.
I like it too.
I like it too.
I also got some there yellow. I haven't made it up
I
yet.
step on your
You
toes.
get it from orange.
The yellow is a real yellowy yellow.
You get it from orange apples.
So because I don't have very many layers of wax on, and because it's got very hot, that's why those little holes are coming up that are the sort of plague of everybody that does Encaustic, I think.
The holes?
Well,
Bubbles.
did you see them? Okay. So let's get some nice colors.
Wow.
And all right. So nothing tricky. You see, that's not, I said to mix them up, but I didn't do it. Okay. These are pretty thin. If you have a color and you want it to be more of that color, let me know, and we can put some more pigment in and make it a little bit deeper.
So did you sketch
It
all
is
this
a
out
little
beforehand?
hard to tell. I'm sorry?
Did you sketch all this out beforehand?
Yes, ma'am. My mind. So I'm just kind of seeing what the colors will do.
Ellen, after you put your wax on,
Yes.
like your 3 layers, and your wax cools before you get your gun going and all that kind of thing. Does that matter?
It's better if it cools a little bit, actually, because sometimes when you put it on and it's very hot, the wax is very hot, and then
Gun.
and then you put the heat on, it's really a little bit too hot. You don't want it to get incredibly hot. All that heat is doing is just sort of sealing one layer into the other layer, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do that. It really doesn't. There's a tendency sometimes I think people err more often in putting too much heat than in not putting enough. And of course, if you have one color and you want more of it, you don't want to go get the pigment like me right now. If you just put a couple of layers, that will begin to build up the color as well. But some of these are a little thin, and we may need to add a little more color to them. We should do that so you can see what that's about. Okay, so I'm going to come back with my torch. And you're going to, probably no one should stand on the end with wires.
Yeah.
Although you're welcome to move things around to make them so you can reach them, and I will, do you want me to help you do that? I'm happy to do that. And that's it. That's all the heat I need. Doesn't take very much.
So does it take more with the heat gun?
Not really. It may take a moment for that heat gun to get, oh, see, I turned it off. I'm used to using the other one. It may take a moment to get that hot, but it doesn't take a lot of heat. Unless you're going to actually do something with the heat, to change things with the heat, just in terms of sealing it, it doesn't take very much. And that 3 layers can be 2 layers or 6 layers or, whatever it takes.
If you wanted to add, you wanted to draw,
Uh-huh.
like, with your little oil things,
What
Let
do
it
you have?
cool.
Oil pastels? Uh-huh.
you let it cool and then
Absolutely.
draw in.
If it's hot, it won't work as well. And if you're using a crayon, it will tend to, kind of go into it.
Right.
But the good news is it doesn't take long to cool. I mean, you're really talking, like this is, you feel it now, it's really hot. 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the max, and it's going to be a whole different thing. So if I tried the crayon now, it would, let me have
But
one.
could you do the crayon on the tissue paper and then put it on?
Yes. I think I forgot my parchment.
Oh, the tissue paper.
Well, it works.
I've got rice.
Now I'm going very, very lightly. Okay.
And you could apply like tissue paper or anything that you wanted.
That's it.
Well, that's way faster than the heat gun. What's happening here? Is this like reactions between the pigments?
That's got a little extra heat on it, and yes, they just kind of melted together. Yeah, look.
You just don't worry about it.
I mean, I can do it intentionally also.
You can mobilize it.
Right.
Oh,
But the
yeah,
thing
you
to be
make it
careful
good.
of that is it's easy to end up with a puddle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he does that.
Yeah.
So I went
What's
a
that?
little
Oh, that's
different.
the
And the
wood down, I can
bubbles are
see.
from too much heat.
Yeah, but some
You
of it's
asked me
pretty
about
cool.
that, didn't you? Yeah.
And so, but you
It's
just
nice,
don't
but you can't
worry
control
about
it.
No.
I'm sorry?
You just leave that alone. You don't worry about it.
Well,
try
if
to
I
put things
didn't
with
like it, I
To
could paint
cover it
over
up.
it. Yeah.
Scrape it off.
I can either scrape it off, but it's so hot now that I can't scrape it. If I scrape it now,
Take it all down to the wood.
I go right down to the wood. But I can do that, and I can even come back in and fill that little area.
Oh. So
You can
if
do whatever you
measurements-
want.
It is so flexible.
Lovely.
Or I can come over, maybe use a little darker, a little heavier color,